Dear students of standard 11, good afternoon. In the previous video class, we have completed root system in the vegetative morphology. Already we have studied what is the meaning of vegetative morphology. It is a study of vegetative parts of a plant, roots, stem, leaves and buds. That is actually vegetative morphology. In that we have completed root system, the system or the portion of the plant which is present below the soil level. That what are the various types of roots, what are the parts are present, what are the various types of modifications, what are the purpose of the modifications, everything we have completed. Now we are going to start with the shoot system. Already in the introduction I told the shoot system means the portion of the plants present above the soil level, which is having the main stem, branches, nodes, internodes, leaves, axillary buds, terminal buds, flowers, fruits. But flowers and fruits are coming under reproductive morphology. But except the flowers and fruits, others are coming under shoot system in the vegetative morphology. So what is that shoot system? You have to see. It is an aerial part. Aerial part means the regions or the parts of the plant present above the soil, that is in the air. Aerial parts of a plant. This shoot system includes apical meristem. What is the meaning of apical meristem? Meristem is the growing region of the plant. Now it is a very soft in nature. It is having actively dividing cells. That is called a meristem. Apical meristem means this meristem is present at the tip of the stem and the tip of the branches. So that we are calling it as apical. Apex. Apex means tip. So this meristem is present at the tip of the main stem and branches. Leaf, primordium. Leaf primordium means the young leaves which are growing first. Very young leaves which are coming out, which are sprouting out. That is called the leaf primordium. Leaves, well matured leaves. Buds. There are so many buds are present in the plant. Nodes and internodes. The stem is always having nodes and internodes. Branches, so many branches will be there, etc. All these parts join together form the shoot system. Now we are going to see the characteristic features of the stem. Okay, we are taking one common stem of a plant. We are not taking leaves, we are not taking buds or anything, only the stem we are taking. What are the general characters of the stem? These are the characters common for all the plants. Now the first one, aerial portion of the plant. Yes, it is present above the soil. Second one is positively phototropic. That means the stems are always growing towards sunlight. Photo means sunlight. Tropic means sensitivity towards the sunlight. So they move, that is grow towards the sunlight. Positively phototropic. Negatively geotropic. That means they are growing away from geo. Geo means soil. They grow away from the soil. That means the bottom of the stem will be present, but the tip of the plant stem is growing higher and higher. That is negatively geotropic. So the shoots is, that is the stem has nodes and internodes. The next one, the stem bears vegetative buds. The buds are of two types, vegetative buds and reproductive buds. Vegetative buds for vegetative growth, that means they are growing into branches. They will never grow into flowers. These buds are called vegetative buds which are growing vegetatively, that means branches. Floral buds for reproduction. That means the floral buds are developing into flower. So the flowers are important for reproduction and ends in a terminal bud. Assume that this is the main stem what is present here. At the tip meristem is there. Over the meristem at the tip one bud will be there. That bud is called a terminal bud. The stem, the young stem is green. Always the young stem will be green in color and thus carry out photosynthesis. So the young green stem can prepare food by photosynthesis. During reproductive growth, that means when the plant is producing flowers, fruits and all, the stem bears flowers and fruits. Only at the time of reproduction, flowers and fruits will be there. Branches arise exogenously. What is the meaning of branches grow exogenously? The main stem is there. From the main stem, a number of branches are coming out. Now this is the main stem. Now at the side, a number of branches will be coming out. These are called branches, but they are arising exogenously. What is the meaning of exogenous? Now imagine that one means, branch is coming out. The branch is arising from the outer region of the main stem, not inner region, outer region of the main stem. That is called exo. Exo means outer region. So they are coming or arising from the outer region of the main stem. The branches are coming. So that is branches arise exogenously. Some stems bear multicellular hairs. The microscopic hairs will be present from the stem. They are made up of many cells. That is called multicellular hairs are present of different kinds. The multicellular hairs are of different types. Some may be very simple, some may be branched, some may be hairy, like that. But all are microscopic in nature. So some stems bear, not all plants, in some plants, some stems bear multicellular hairs of different kinds. So these are the general characters. Now we are going to study about the functions of the stem. The stem is performing the functions. Any organ of the plant, if you take, they have their own specific functions. So we are going to see what are the functions done by the stem. First, primary functions. They are the important functions, main functions, primary functions. Now the stem provides a support and bears the leaves, flowers and fruits. Now the stem is giving main support to the plant. The stem is bearing the branches, the stem is bearing the leaves, flowers, fruits, everything. So they provide a support and bears leaves, flowers and fruits. Next one, transport. The stem transports water and minerals to other parts of the plant from the root. The root is absorbing water and minerals. Now the water and minerals should go to the leaves. The water and minerals should go to the flowers and fruits. But through what way? The roots are sending the water and minerals to the stem. Then the stem is transporting that water and minerals to each and every part of the plant from the root. The next one is transports food prepared by the leaves. The leaves are preparing. Now the leaves are getting water. The leaves are getting minerals. Sunlight is there. Carbon dioxide is also available in the surrounding. Now the leaves are preparing food by photosynthesis, that is starch. That is called a prepared food. Okay. Now the prepared food from the leaf will be transported to other parts of the plant through the stem. Suppose the leaf is sending the food to the stem. Stem is transporting the food to the fruit. Stem is transporting the food to the flowers. The stem is transporting the food to the root system. Like that, from the leaves, all parts are getting food material through the stem. Now these are all the primary functions of the stem. Now we are going to see the secondary functions of the stem. Secondary means additional functions. They are not the main functions, additional functions. What are the additional functions? Food storage. Some plants are storing food in the stem. That is called a food storage. Example, Solanum tuberosum. It is nothing but, it is a botanical name. Solanum tuberosum. It is nothing but the vegetable potato. The potato is an underground stem. It is storing a lot of food material. Food storage. Then perenniation or reproduction, both are same. So some plants, the stem is reproducing. One stem is giving or producing many number of young plants. That is called perenniation or reproduction. Example, Gingiber officinale, ginger plant. Ginger is also the vegetable shop, it is available. Now this is very much important for giving taste to the food. Ginger officinale. So Gingiber officinale. So ginger plant. So that is also for reproduction. For example, one ginger if you take, now at the time of reproductive season, each ginger can produce about 4 or 5 or 6 new plants. That is vegetative reproduction, we can say. Water storage. In some plants, the stem is storing water for future use. That is called the water storage. Example, Opuntia. I already told you in the root system. Opuntia means it is cactus plant. Normally they are living in the dry place. Whenever the rainy season comes, the soil is having more water. They are absorbing the water and storing the water in the stem. So for future use, whenever the dry condition comes, the stem is supplying water to the entire plant. Next one is buoyancy. Buoyancy means it is floating. In some plants are living in water. The plants may be floating on the surface of the water. Now how they are floating? With the help of the stem. The stem is having a lot of air cavities. So So air cavities means the stem will become very, very lighter, very, very soft. So the stem can float in water very well. That is called a buoyancy. Then example, that is a Neptunia. The example is Neptunia. It is an aquatic plant, water plant, which is floating on the surface of water. Photosynthesis, here also the same plant, Opuntia, cactus plant. The stem is green and flattened, storing food material. The stem is a green because of the presence of chlorophyll. So, in the presence of sunlight, with the help of carbon dioxide, the stem is preparing food, that is starch. That is called a photosynthesis. So, photosynthesis example, Opuntia. Next one is protection. Now, protection means the entire stem is protecting the whole plant. That is actually called a protection. Example, citrus. Now, if you take the citrus, leaves are there. But at the base of the leaves, on the stem, enormous number of thorns will be present. So what will happen? The cattle cannot come and eat the leaves. The leaves are very important to prepare the food. So what will happen? The stem, the thorns present on the stem are giving protection to the leaves. So the herbivorous animals cannot come and eat the leaves. So if the leaves are there, the plant will be healthy. That is called a protection. Last one is support. Now already we have studied at the beginning itself, support. Now the stem is giving support to the other parts of the plant. Support. Example, Passiflora bougainvillea. Now we are coming to the buds. The buds are considered as a condensed stem or condensed shoot. The buds may grow into branches or the bud may grow into the flowers. There are two types of buds. Based on their position, we can classify the buds into two types. Now actually the buds are called a compressed shoot. Now already we have studied what are the parts present in the shoot system. The stem, branches, nodes, internodes, leaves, etc. That is called a compressed shoot. It is compressed form. It is not well elongated or expanded form. It is a compressed shoot, we are telling. Now this is the bud. Assume that it is an elongated bud. Now this bud is present at the tip of the stem. Now this is the tip of the stem. Now here one bud is there, the other side one more bud will be present. Now this is the bud which is present at the tip of the plant. It is called a terminal bud. Another bud, another type of bud we can call as axillary bud. Now this is the main stem. It is going up. Now this is one node. Actually here one leaf will be arising. Here also one leaf will be arising. But at the axil of the leaf, axil means the angle between the main stem and the leaf. That is called the axil of the leaf. So at the axil of the leaf, a bud is present. Like that, this side also one leaf will be there. In the axil of the leaf, one bud will be present. So these two buds are called axillary buds. These two buds are called axillary buds. Like that, many places, many buds will be there. So if the buds are present at the tip of the stem and branches, they are called terminal buds. If the buds are present at the axils of the leaf of the plant, then they are called axillary buds. Now we are coming to again the types of buds which are present here. Now this is the apical bud. This is a simple diagrammatic representation for this. First one, apical. Apical means a tip. Now this is the bud, what is present here. Now this is the main stem. At the tip of the main stem, one bud is present. Terminal bud. Okay, the terminal bud is also called the apical bud. Now these are all the branches. Like that, many number of branches will be there. At the tip of each branch, one bud will be there. At the tip of each branch, one bud will be present. Only one. It is a common. So this is the these are the apical buds, are also called the terminal buds. First type. Now we are coming to that axillary buds. Previously slide I have shown that. Now this is the main stem. Here the node is present. This is the leaf. Now this is the stalk of the leaf. Now the space between the stalk of the leaf and the stem is called the axil of the leaf. In the axil, one bud will be present. It is called the axillary bud. Then extra axillary bud. We have to see what is the meaning of extra axillary. Now imagine that this is the stem. Here one node is present, but only one side you can see the leaf. But in the axil of the leaf, a bud may be present, may not be present. But another one bud is attached with the node, but here no leaves, nothing will be there. This is called the extra axillary. That means the position of the bud is other than the axil of the leaf. Other than the axil of the leaf. Anywhere on the bud there is node, it can be attached either here or the back side. But it will never be present in the axil. That is called the extra axillary. The next one is accessory buds. What are the accessory buds? It is very simple. This is the main stem, node is present, this is the leaf. In the axil of the leaf, originally one axillary bud is there, this one. One axillary bud is present. But along with the axillary bud, on either side of the axillary bud, two more small buds will be present. Two more. They are additional buds. These additional buds which are present on either side of the axillary bud, we can call them as accessory buds. Now we are coming to the next type, adventitious buds. Actually 4 types we have completed, this is the 5th type, adventitious. That means, what is the meaning of adventitious buds? We have to say, normally buds are present at the tip of the stem and branches, terminal buds or axil, that is what apical buds. The buds are present in the axil of the leaf, they are called the axillary buds, one type. 2 types we have seen. But other than these 2 areas, not at the tip of the stem and branches, not at the angle of the leaf, anywhere else, if the leaf buds are present, they are called the adventitious buds. Adventitious buds are the buds which are found anywhere in the plant except the terminal region of the stem, except the axil of the leaf. Except the 2 places, other places we can find. Now in that we are going to see what are they. Now fibrous root system I am taking. Now this is a fibrous root, lot of small roots are there. Normally on the roots buds will not be present, but in some plants some buds are attached with the roots. If the buds are attached with the roots, they are called adventitious roots on the bud. That is fibrous root. Over that, these buds are called radical bud. Radical is the term we are giving for primitive roots. Okay, radical buds attached with the roots. The next type we are going to take, this is the leaf what we have taken from the bryophyllum tree. Bryophyllum is a big tree. Now this is one leaf. The leaf is a broad, maybe about our palm size, the leaf will be there. The leaf is a thick and leathery. This is the margin of the leaf. This is the margin of the leaf. On the margin of the leaf, lot of buds will be present. But in the diagram, I have drawn 3 plus 3, 6. But it may be 7, 8, 9, 10. Like that, some buds will be attached with the margin of the leaf. These buds are also called the adventitious buds. Then we are coming to cauline buds. What is actually the meaning of cauline buds? Now this is the stem. Okay, this is the main stem. But the stem is cut off. Imagine like this. The stem is cut off in halfway. That means purposely or artificially we are cutting. Now by crosswise we have cut. So the terminal portion is removed, the terminal bud is removed. This is the half of the stem or even 1/3 of the stem. Okay, one stump is there. This is the stump line. But after some time in some plants, that is from the cut portion one bud will be growing. From the cut portion one new bud will be growing. But this is not happening for all the plants, only in some plants. Such bud which is growing from the cut portion of the stem we can call as cauline bud. The next one is bulbils. See that B-U-L-B-I-L, bulbil, plural bulbils. In some plants, you can see that main stem, you can see the leaf, axillary bud will be present, but the axillary bud is growing very bigger and it will become woody. Now what is the meaning? Normally bud will be very soft, but this bud will not be very soft, it is very strong and wood-like. That type of woody, strong, larger buds we can call as bulbil. So these are all the adventitious. See that no axil of the leaf, no terminal portion of the stem. Somewhere they are present, they are called the adventitious buds. Now we are coming to the types of stems. Now the stem of all the plants, if you observe, there are different types. All the stems are not looking alike. They are not present as such. They are having variations in various types of plants. So we are going to see what are the various types of stems are found in the plants. The first one is excurrent stem. What is the meaning of excurrent? We have to know. These stems are continuously growing. The continuous growth of the main axis. Main axis means main stem. The main stem is continuously growing throughout the life. Suppose the plant is living for 20 years, The complete 20 years, the main stem is continuously growing up and up. Even on the day of death also some growth will be there. That is called the continuous growth of main axis, main stem. Then it will be cone shaped. The entire shoot system, if you take, it will be cone shaped. What is the meaning of cone shaped plant? We have to see. This is the main stem, what we have drawn. Now it is growing continuously, I said, throughout the life. But the side branches, if you take, they are shorter. The side branches will be very, very shorter. The branches will not be like banyan tree branches. The branches will not be like mango tree branches or neem tree branches. Branches will be very thin and short. Now the next branch like that, but they are bearing leaves. But the whole of the shoot system, if you take, it will be cone shaped. It will be cone shaped. Here the thin branches will be little longer, next little shorter, and the shortest branches will be near the tip. So the whole of the shoot system, if you take, it will become triangle-like, cone-like. That is called a cone-shaped shoot system. Example, casuarina. The casuarina tree, the main stem is growing 40-50 feet height, but branches may be about 4 or 5 feet, but they will be gradually becoming shorter and shorter now at the side. So that whole plant is giving cone shape. That is called the excurrent stem. The next one is a decurrent stem. Now decurrent we are telling, but decurrent, excurrent and decurrent stem. Now the stem is having limited growth. The main stem is growing very, very short. It is growing up to certain height, after that the growth will be stopped. That is limited growth of main stem, main axis. Vigorous growth of lateral branches. Lateral branches means side branches. But the side branches are growing vigorously, very faster. So they are growing longer and longer. So that is called the vigorous growth of lateral branches. Example, mangifera. Mangifera is the botanical name, but common name is mango. Now in some places where the mango grooves are present, some short plants will be there. The total height will be about 10 to 15 feet. But the branches will be 30 feet. Now they are present very closer to the ground level. That is actually called a decurrent branching or decurrent stem, we can say. Next one is caudex. Already in the introduction I told you, caudex means the stem, main stem will be there, but no branches. Unbranched stem we are reading. So the caudex, unbranched, the main branch is there, main stem is there, but no branches. Trunk is stout. The trunk, the main stem is very, very stout and cylindrical. Okay, it is a cylindrical in nature. Example, caucus. Now the caucus, if you take, it is coconut. Okay, caucus is coconut. That is, if you take that main stem, the main stem is long and cylindrical, no branches. Culm, C-U-L-M, culm. Now, node is a solid, but the stem will be long and cylindrical, very, very long. Nodes will be there. The node is a solid. The node will be very, very strong and solid in nature, but internode is hollow. What is the meaning of internode? Suppose you are taking two nodes on the stem. The space between the two nodes is called the internode. It is also the part of the stem, but it will be hollow. But it will be having only outer covering, center will be hollow, cavity will be present. Example, bamboo. The bamboo is having lot of circular rings will be there. The rings are called nodes but solid, but internode will be hollow. So that is called a culm. Now these are the different types of stems. Now we are going to see these modifications of the stem. So the stem is performing so many important functions. Main support. Main thing is main support. It is bearing the branches, leaves, flowers, fruits, everything. That is the main thing. But in addition to that, they are modified. They are changing the shape, size, structure in order to do some additional functions. That is called the modifications of the stem. Now first we will take about aerial modifications of the stem. That means the stem is present above the soil. Above the soil, what are the modifications are there? That is called the aerial modifications of the stem. So the first part of that, now the first type of modification is creepers. The stem is very thin. The stem is not very, very strong. So they are very weak stem. So they can creep on the ground. They can creep on the ground. They are called the creepers. The second one is trailers. Trailers. Now trailers means they are trailing on the ground. They are also creeping on the ground or trailing on the ground. Trailers. Next one is climbers. The weak stemmed plants that are climbing on the support. If any support is available, it can be wall or it can be the other plant, okay, tall plant, that is they are climbing over the support, that is called the climbers. Okay, the creepers I told you, now the branches may be very few branches and the branches are creeping on ground, okay, they are creeping on the ground, they are growing on the, spreading on the ground. Trailers, the same thing but some speciality will be present. Procumbent, what is the meaning of procumbent? We have to see, they are spreading all the sides of the plant, okay, all the sides on the ground, okay, one main stem is there, branches will be growing in all directions, that is called a procumbent, but they are lying on the ground, even the tip of the branches will be lying on the ground, that is called a procumbent. Decumbent, now the entire branches are lying on the ground, but when the flower is formed at the tip of the branch, the flower alone will be standing erect, that is called a decumbent, but flower will not fall on the ground, it will be standing vertically erect. Diffuse, wherever the space is present, the weak stem will be diffusing, growing in that space, that is called a diffuse. Three types. Climbers, in the climbers, root climbers are there, they are climbing with the help of root, they are climbing with the help of stem climbers, they are climbing with the help of tendrils are the coiled spring like structures, then they are climbing on the support with the help of hooks, the thorns, hook like structures, curved thorns will be present. Lianas, okay, some special structures will be there, lianas. Thorn climbers, now they are climbing with the help of thorns. Now this is the outline classification of aerial modifications of the stem. Now we are coming to the creepers. I told you, the creepers are spreading on the ground, okay. Now the example for this is oxalis. Normally the oxalis will be growing in a place where too much of moisture is there in the soil, that is oxalis. They grow horizontally, that means horizontally on the ground, horizontally on the ground. There is only one character. Now everywhere will be there. So if you take one plant, it is spreading on that. So the whole ground will be covered by the plant. It will be completely green in color. Now the whole region is a green in color. It is covered like that. Next, trailers. They are also called as stragglers. Trailers are also called as stragglers. Then what type of characters they have? Now already told you, procumbent. Okay. Now the stem spreads over the ground, just like previous one. They are also spreading on the ground without rooting. That means what? Rooting at the node. Normally in the plants, weak stemmed plants, wherever the nodes are there, some roots will be growing. But here roots will not be growing without rooting at the nodes. Example, Indigofera. Next one is a decumbent. Here also the stem grows horizontally on the ground and becomes erect during reproductive stage. What is the reproductive stage? Production of flowers. But once the flower is produced, the flower is standing erect. That is called a decumbent. Example, Tridax. The next one is a diffuse. I already told you. Stem and branches are spread horizontally everywhere. Wherever the space is available, they are growing. Now, Merimia. Example for this is Merimia. So, they are called trailers. Now, we are coming to the next one, climbers. I already told you the stem is very thin. The stem is not very strong. It is very thin and delicate. So, they can climb on the support. They are called the climbers. What way they are climbing, that may be different. Okay. So, they climb on the support to expose the leaves. The leaves are exposed to the sunlight. So, they climb on the support to expose the leaves towards sunlight. So, that all the leaves are exposed to the sunlight, all the leaves can prepare the food material. So, more amount of food will be stored for that only. Now, in that root climbers, for example, this is the main support, maybe some other plant. It may be a tree or it may be a shrub or it may be any one stronger plant will be there. Now, this is one stem, this is one stem like that. But some plants are growing, coiling around the support, Now, that is called now when it is growing, the weak stem is there, the climbers plant, weak stem, wherever the nodes are there, roots will be produced. So, with the help of roots, they are holding the support, with the help of roots. So, they are called root climbers. Example, beetle. Beetle is a common name, that is everywhere they are cultivating. Now, the leaf itself, if you tell, now if you see that, you can understand, it is a beetle. The second one is twiner. The stem is very weak, but the roots are not produced, but the stem is tightly coiling around the supporting support. Okay, just like coiling around the support. holding it very, very tightly. So it is a coiled like a spring over the support. That is called a twiner, twining around the support, twiner. Example for this is clitoria. By seeing the flower, you can understand what type of plant it is. Now the stem is very weak, very thin. It can climb by twining around the support. It is called a twiner. Now hook climbers. Now this is the plant. Now this is the support. Now the plant is producing number of thorn-like structures. Producing a number of thorn-like structures, but at the tip it is a curve. That is called a hook. With the help of a hook, they are poking on the support and they are climbing over. That is called a hook climber. Example for this is calamus. The next one is thorn climber. Now the hook climber and thorn climber both are more or less the same, but here the thorn-like structure is curved at the tip, but here it will not be curved. Now everywhere you can find the thorns will be present. With the help of the thorns, they are poking on the outer skin of the support. That is called a thorn climber. Example, carissa. Lianas. Okay, lianas if you take. Now this is the support, but the weak stem plant will be having thick stem, but the stem will not be very strong to stand erect. But it is coiling around the support. See that it is coiling around the support. Okay, that is called a lianas. Normally in other plants and all, the stem will be very thin, very thread-like. But here the stem will be very thicker, but it is coiling around the support. But though it is very thicker, it is not strong enough to stand vertically erect. Example, hiptage. The last one is a tendril climber. Now example is pisum. That is a pea plant, what we can say. Now this is the stem support. That is a supporting plant. Now this is the weak stemmed plant. But what it is doing is, wherever the nodes are present, now this is one node. Here one long thread-like structure is coming, which is coiling around the support. Like a spring, it will be coiling around the support. Now this is called the coiled spring-like structure is called a tendril. So with the help of tendril, now the tip of the stem is growing further. But when it is need some support, immediately it is producing a branch with a coiled structure holding the support. So it is growing upper and upper. So the tendril means coiled spring-like structure with the help of which they coil around the support and they climb on the support. That is called a tendril climber. Example, pisum.